Right, now we've had quite a few questions sent to us through the social media or by email, so I'm going to try and answer one or two of them now. The first question is, how much space does my pumpkin need? Well, really you need about 2 feet in diameter or square. If you're planting them in a line, plant them about 2 feet apart. Some of the big ones might even benefit from 3 feet. But you've got a job to get away with less than 2 feet really, and this the diameter of this tub is probably about 2 feet, so that's about ideal. Another question that's often asked is, what's the best way of keeping slugs from damaging pumpkins, and particularly organic methods? And there are lots of things that you'll see written about, and they have fairly mixed results really. If you crush eggshells and put around the pumpkin plant, that is supposed to prevent the slugs attacking the pumpkins because they don't like crawling over the eggshells. You can put a beer trap, which is like a sunken glass in the soil with half full of beer, and the idea is that the slug will be attracted to the beer rather than the pumpkin and fall in the trap. Don't quite know how successful that is. And you can get slug pellets that are suitable for use in organic systems, and they're based on ferric phosphate, and they're probably the most reliable way of controlling slugs, although you can just go out at night and pick them up and take them away. Now is a good time. It's certainly not too late. In the south of England they'll probably be planting towards the end of May, and the further north you get, the later you have to leave it, just in case you get a frost. But we're unlikely to get a frost now, so it would be a perfect time to plant your pumpkin now and any time in the next couple of weeks. Next question is about fertiliser. What fertiliser do pumpkins need? Well, you can give them plenty of well-rotted manure, and it's very good. They will love that underneath the soil, and the roots will grow down into that. If you're not able to do that, or certainly to give them a good start, something with a lot of potash in it, because the potash you need to produce the flowers, which then goes on to produce the fruit. So a tomato fertiliser once a week would be ideal. I've also been asked about pollination. Pumpkins will produce 2 types of flower. They produce a female flower and a male flower, and when the flowers come onto this plant, we'll do another little video which will show you the difference between the two. Generally speaking, the insects will pollinate your pumpkin perfectly well. They crawl into the male flowers, get pollen on the backs, crawl into the females, pollinate the female flower, and that's how you get your pumpkin. But more about that when the pumpkins are in flower. We have had a few queries from people who have bought their pumpkin plants, planted them in the ground, and then wondered if they should have put them in pots. They will be fine in the ground. As long as it's nice and warm and the weather's good, they should be fine. If you think they look a bit sick and suffering, there's no problem in digging them up, sticking them in the pot for a couple of weeks and then putting them back. But if they look fine, leave them where they are. We've had queries about the weather, how it affects the pumpkins. Is it safe to plant them outside in the rain? And should they plant them out if the roots haven't come through the bottom of the pot yet? Well, you can plant them out. The roots don't have to come through the bottom of the pot. As long as the roots have started to grow through the compost, you can plant them out, and certainly they will stand the rain. The only thing they won't stand is frost. So fine to plant them out now. All our commercial pumpkins are grown outside and they get watered by the rain, and that's not a problem. You don't have to plant them in a tub. You can plant them in grow bags or potato bags, and they work quite successfully. You can keep them in the grow bag for a little while till they get established in a greenhouse or conservatory, and then move them out anytime round about now. And as long as you keep them well fed and the grow bag is well drained, then there's no reason why you shouldn't grow them successfully in a grow bag. We have had a query about putting straw around the pumpkin plants to protect them and whether that is necessary. It's not necessary to protect the plant. As the pumpkin fruits develop, it's quite a good idea to put a little layer of straw or some newspaper underneath the pumpkin fruit as it develops. It keeps it clean. You can't do this on a commercial scale, but certainly if I were just growing 1 or 2, it would be a help to do that, and it stops them getting muddy and they grow a little bit more even. and you will see a sort of a nicer looking pumpkin if you do that.